Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Women's Intuition. It's your girl Taylor.
And it's your girl Lex, and we're happy to be here.
Yes, we are back with another episode, guys.
I think it's our 53rd one in the studio.
Wow, you keeping up is tremendous.
You know, I'll be trying.
Remarkable.
Shout out to Gate 7 Studios for hosting us all this time. We didn't get paid for that, but we'll say it
maybe
a lot
one day
more.
in the near future.
But yeah, girl, so how are you?
I am doing swell. What's been new? I feel like we kind of just seen each other. So not much really since I last saw you. This weekend, I didn't really do much. I was in the house pretty much all weekend. I had to do hair, but that was pretty much it. What about you?
I have a lot. I feel like I said so much last week and I still didn't even get to the gist of it. First off, I just want to address the elephant of the room. If y'all saw that big ass knot on my forehead in the episode last week, I had an incident in the shower where I literally dropped the soap. Forgot that I have a ledge there because I have a big ass window in my shower. Bent down to get the soap, damn near knocked my ass out. I had to step back and catch myself.
Make sure you have a concussion.
Girl, I had to put ice on my head. I'm in bed. I pick up my phone to look at it. My eyes crossed a little bit. I said, hold the fuck up. Maybe I shouldn't go to sleep. And so now it's kind of going down, but you can still kind of see it. So I got my ears on today. But this weekend was great. I saw you Friday. We went out, did a little one last little birthday hurrah.
One last birthday hurrah. It was dope.
Yes, ma'am. And then the next day, I told y'all I'm on this little journey to just find some new shit that I'm just into. Shit I haven't done before, new experiences. So I've been doing all these types of yoga. I did puppy yoga. I've done some hot yoga. And then I found out about goat yoga. And so I actually have my first Goga class this Thursday, but it's just on a farm and they have these different experiences. So I went cow cuddling on Saturday.
How was that?
It was so fun. When I pulled up, I was excited all day, all week really. But when I pulled up and saw I realized this is like a country house, And so I'm like, oh shit, are these going to be I'm starting to get scared that they're going to be racist or just, I don't know how comfortable I'm going to be walking around with some people. And I know that they just, don't like people like me. But the first person to greet me was this young guy with dreads, very hipstery, looked
was he of the caucus?
No, he was black.
Oh, he was black.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought saying dreads would say that, but they do be having dreads.
You said country, so I'm like, white people be having dreads.
Yeah, don't be brushing their hair. It gets matted up and shit. So no, he greets me and then we're walking. I see this tall glass of chocolate milk walk out. He in like the overalls and he's dressed like he on a farm. And I'm like, a nigga, another nigga. And then the other guy who was on our tour was this young Asian guy. So literally every person that I saw on the farm was a person of color. And I loved that because you just don't, there's black farm owners and stuff. And so even when I went to go tag them, they tagged me in some stuff on their page. I'm looking at the post and I realized, the owners of this company and the farm are black. So I thought that was so cool. I got to chill with the baby goats and pick them up. They're so funny. Aww. They're the ones that be at goat yoga and they just literally, you'll be sitting there and they'll let the goats come out and the goats run into the room and they just start hopping on people's backs. Oh. Yeah. So funny. But we got to pick them up and then we went up there and we had to walk through the grown-up goats. Now those look a little more scary. They got the big horns. You're like, are you the devil? What are you? But we went and hugged the cows and stuff. That was fun. And then the crazy thing is the cows, it was only 2 cows and everyone was crowding them. So I left out of the pen and I'm like, I'm just going to chill with the grown-up goats. They were my favorite part. I adored them. They're like little puppies. When you stop petting them, they'll nudge you, to poke you with their horn. Yeah, and they really like it when you scratch with, at first I was avoiding the horns, but they like when you scratch in between them. They were just literally the fucking cutest things ever. So I can't wait to go back. I know this is long. Also, I've been going to the chiropractor. And that's been amazing. I have a whole membership. I go twice a week right now. And bitch, I was always in cheerleading. I did gymnastics. I did tumbling. I did all that growing up. So I've always been pretty flexible. But the last 2 to 3 years, my mobility has just been kind of non-existent.
Stiff. Yeah.
So even when I go work out or do different things, it feels harder because I'm not feeling limber and stuff. So I said, let me go get adjusted. After that first adjustment, when I tell you, bitch,
no knots.
I've never felt like I have felt this good, but I haven't felt this good in a long time. And I'm like, oh my God. So I still feel so much better. So I've just been really, what is that? Self-care, self-help, whatever.
That's self-care, yeah.
Yoga and chiropractors and shit. So it's been fun. Also, I told you I had this knot on my head. Tell me why I'm in there petting one of the, I'm in there cuddling one of the cows. And so I go to walk away and I go, boom. And there's like a little rafter just kind of right there. Everyone was like, are you okay? Thank God I had a hat on. I was like, what is wrong with me?
You're so embarrassing.
What the fuck is wrong with And even when I was like, no, I'm good. Everyone's like, no, like, seriously, do you need to sit down? And I'm like, y'all are making it more embarrassing than it has to be. I'm like, let's act like it didn't happen.
Yeah.
But, y'all. So I've been taking care of myself, but also like harming myself.
Yeah, like get it together.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's what I've been up to.
Okay. Kudos to you.
Intuitions.
Do I have an intuition? Not really. I guess just sticking to my fast that I've been doing.
Are you doing the 75 hard thing? Have you heard of that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I think I want to do a 75 medium. There's a 75 medium. There's also a 75 soft. So I said I'm not going to do the soft. Maybe I'll do the 75 medium. I think I could do that.
What would you do? Like, what would it consist of?
I saw something that had the stuff. Or it had like what you had to do.
Yeah. So
one of them, I can't remember. I just know 75 hard was super strict. No drinking at all. Working out every single day. No skips. The diet was super strict. And so medium was like, working out 5 days a week, like incorporated rest days or in incorporated days where you can, drink once a week or something like that. So I was like, okay. Even if it was like, bro, I could get away with drinking only twice a month. That means I only drink when I go out. So that means, okay, I just drink 2 times when I go out. Like, that's cool.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think you could do it. It's definitely reasonable.
Especially now that I'm feeling like this, bitch. Like, oh my God.
You got mobility.
Yeah. I feel like, you be seeing people, they'll be standing and there's like something right there and they're supposed to jump and get up on that thing by just standing still. You know what I'm talking about? They were showing like videos. And it's like, oh shit, how do you jump that high?
You feel like you could do that?
I could do it.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I slick want to like
set it up.
Try you.
Okay. First topic is on.
Not you trying to change the subject.
We'll talk about it later. Let's get into these topics. But okay. Something else that hasn't been up with me is no love life, no contenders. None of that. I've had a couple people reach out now and they got through because they was on text free or text now, wherever it is that you get them numbers. And then I blocked those numbers too. Okay. So other than that, there's been no like movement in that area. And like times when I think there might be able to, I'm like, it'll be like more experimental. Like
just trying it out.
Yeah, because I'm, when we've all been there where it's like my usual type isn't working. Maybe I should try something new. Like he's different. Like maybe I could get myself to like this. Have you gone through that?
Yeah. I mean, we can piggy off of last week, me trying to like not date my type. And even though I feel like I don't think I really have a type, but I know what my type is not. You know what I mean? Like I know what I don't like. And I think recently I have tried to go outside of my comfort zone just to like clearly what I've been doing wasn't working. So I'm like, let's just see if something of the opposite.
And how was the experience? But are you really trying? Like, did you really open yourself up?
I did. Absolutely. Absolutely. I feel like honestly, this was the first date where I just laid everything out on the table. Like expressed everything that I wanted. Like I want to be married, like I want this to be an intentional dating situation. Like I'm not just in here like, oh, what are we doing? And it's like, well, I'm just trying to see. You just trying to see what? Like what are you just trying to see? Like I'm just trying to see that ring. Like, I'm just trying to see like us build together. Like that's what I'm looking forward to. So I feel like, I was definitely being vulnerable. And I realized like you can't force anything.
Yeah.
So
But I want to think that it does work for people sometimes. I stepped outside of my comfort zone with one of my boyfriends. You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah, but when you say outside of your, because I feel like it could be different levels.
Well, it wasn't really outside of my comfort zone.
Yeah, because I'm like...
He was outside of my usual type.
But I feel like that's low-key, that's still like your type. That's still kind of like who you are, slick.
It's who I am, but not who I've dated before. Yeah. So it was fun to be able to, we did different types of things. We wasn't in lounges smoking hookah when we went out for date night. We was like... live bands. He used to play drums. Like we was really, so I was excited to do stuff like that. Lots of museum, lots of like artsy fartsy type of stuff. Which was fun. And I feel like that was experimental. And the reason that it was, I feel like it was really experimental was a part of me was a little insecure about what my friends would think of him. Because I knew y'all would think he was a dweeb. I was like, they're gonna be like, bitch, this nigga? Like, what the fuck? Like, so I don't know. I tried and it worked out for a bit. It worked out. And I feel like it works out for some people. Because I feel like some people have to like step out of their comfort zone and all of a sudden, I feel like you hear stories like, I wasn't expecting it from this person and it turns out like it was amazing. On some Love is Blind shit. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the only thing outside of my comfort zone would be like aesthetic wise, like look wise. Because like personality, I do have a like a type of personality, so it's like it's hard to go outside of like somebody that you align with, so like for me, when it comes to outside of my comfort zone, when it comes to like personality or like beliefs or values, that's not gonna change. So I think for me, my level of comfort zone would be like aesthetically, like look wise for me, because what else are we talking about? Like me dating an atheist? Like that's not gonna fucking work.
I guess I'm not even thinking about values more. I'm thinking about like, let's say you talk to a guy who's super loud. Like, I feel like you typically date low key guys. Would you talk to somebody that was super out there, always the center of attention everywhere, like knew everybody? Like,
yeah. I feel like if you was, I could.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like that could be different from what you usually date.
Yeah.
And you can maybe tolerate that.
Probably. It just depends on like, you can't be like New York loud.
I was just thinking, I was like outside of my comfort zone would be like a New York nigga.
Yeah, I think I'd be very intimidated. Levels to that, like, because we both can't just be loud as fuck. I mean, or we both can. Yeah. My family's loud, so I'm used to loudness. It's not like crazy outside of my comfort zone. It would just be as far as me dating somebody.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
What about a singing ass nigga?
A singing ass nigga? Is he breakdancing with it? Like, yeah.
I know who you're thinking about when you say that too.
You do? Who?
At Albany State?
Yeah, that's why I'm like, is it like a singing and dance? I could do a singing ass nigga. I couldn't.
Yeah. I don't like singing.
You know what made me think of that? Have you been watching like the YN's TikTok? I don't know how I made it to the YN's TikTok.
No.
Them niggas be on there singing. Like
four bats.
Yes,
okay.
Like, but they
with a ski mask on, and
and I'm like, these niggas are really singing their ass off. That's why I'm like, I could do like a Chris Brown, like a low key. Yeah, if you a singer, I could fuck with you. Now, if you a dancer, no. I ain't got time to be waking up. You on the side of the bed, like, baby, like we not doing that.
I would be so annoyed if every time we go out, I gotta be like, babe, please don't.
Or he the one in the circle, please. Like going like this.
Yes.
People like hyping him up, like,
and then a bitch start dancing close to him, and they making their way to each other. Bitch,
or if he in the shower and like moonwalking and shit with the fucking water, like I can't do that. Yeah, I could do a singer though for sure.
I think I still have a few experimental shits in me. Like even the couple that I went out with, that was experimental as fuck. And I'm not talking about the black couple. I'm talking about the white one. The guy was Nordic pagan and she was Wiccan. I said, "What? Let's see what they're talking about." It was bullshit.
That I don't think I could do.
But I knew that was my foot, y'all. I knew it was gonna be something.
Yeah. Okay. But I can't do no rapper. I'm sorry.
I could. He can't.
At 35,
he can't think he really going somewhere with it.
So he got it like. And what's the style of rap like? Do he got to be like rapping like a YN? Can you talk, or it got to be like J. Cole, like inspiring?
When me and Shamish play, when we used to just be hanging out, we be listening to Young Thug and stuff like that. And we get to a certain point of the night in our like drunkenness.
Y'all freestyling?
Well, no, he started talking about how he used to rap. And then he
used
be like,
to rap is different than rapping.
Like, I still got the songs. Let me play them.
I
And then
fuck with a nigga
now
who
he
used
playing
to
the
rap.
song. Okay,
but I'm saying you meet them at 35, and they like, I'm in the studio.
Yeah, no, but I don't like a lot of those sensationalized careers in Atlanta. I'm not trying to, even if a nigga be like, I own a clothing brand, I'm like, no. I am an entrepreneur. I just don't be, I don't know. I
could do it if you're realistic. If you are an entrepreneur, but you also have another job where a steady income is coming in, I could definitely, because I feel like I'm an entrepreneur. Like, I be trying different shit, you know?
I'm just not a risk taker, y'all. I've not always been financially secure in my growing up or any of that. So stability is so attractive to me. Motherfuckers be like, bitches only want niggas with money. You think it's the money? Exactly. I'm not just asking niggas for money, but I like knowing that they were disciplined enough and have enough sense to know how to keep up with their funds. That's so attractive to me, bro. That's stability. That's somebody that I would trust with my shit, you know? So I don't know. I'm not too big on risk takers. Y'all be fine though. They do.
She basically saying the ones with no jobs be fine as hell.
For some reason.
Okay, next topic. So, I've been watching my show, The Crown.
Okay.
And, it's very interesting how, like, these families are, like, these marriages are arranged. And you kind of have a say-so, but you really don't have a say-so, in their culture. And it's like, could you do an arranged marriage? Like, are you open to that? Just say it was an option in our culture and our parents had the option to do an arranged marriage for us. Could you do it? Would you do it?
No.
Okay.
You're saying in today's age, no.
Yeah, today's age.
But only because I'm not. What are the chances that I'm gonna get with a nigga whose social views match mine? Social issues are such a big thing for me, bro.
Yeah.
So if I end up, most likely I'm gonna get with a nigga that's like me, man, you woman, and you do what I say, and you don't wear that, or I don't like.
Why he sound like a barbarian?
Because he is. I don't want to be with a barbarian. And those are the niggas that would love an arranged marriage. Yeah. I don't think I could. Yeah. What about you?
Maybe. If, like, it's today's society, I mean, what's the chance? I feel like it's 50-50. If I can't find a nigga, shit, maybe my family can. They know me well enough to know, like, my beliefs, my morals, like my values. They know kind of what I want in a nigga. So, or a man, let me, try to be politically correct. But I just feel like I would take the risk.
I wouldn't. I would not. And also, like, because I feel like the thing with arranged marriages, at least back then, I what am I trying to say? I indulge in a lot of historical fiction shit. So in all kinds of cultures, they have these arranged marriages. And it's not necessarily your parents are out and see somebody, you know what, I think Taylor would like him. Let's try to arrange this. It's a business deal. It's something going on. Their family is a part of this, that, or they're like, so with that in mind, if it was just them picking from a bunch of people and being like, I think he would be great for her, okay. But if it's something like they're going to pick somebody that's going to further your family's well-being or it's going to get your family there, what are the chances that the son of that is just going to be fine? Have a big dick, be nice, know how to still be kind when you're in arguments, not have outdated views. I just,
I mean, shit, have we had any luck yet? That's why I'm like, I ain't had no luck yet. So I'm open to it.
If you don't have no luck and you know what you like and you know how that feels, you think they're going to have better luck? Like, you're picky enough. I don't think they could pick for you.
I feel like I would be open to it. Like, I'm not saying I would just, like, accept the offer and be like, yeah, this is my person. But I would definitely be open to an arranged marriage.
I be feeling like the thing about arranged marriages is they don't really have a choice in the matter. Like, they're doing it because they have to.
They do. Maybe in, like, I know in The Crown, maybe, like, European cultures is different than, like, Asian cultures. I know Asian are stricter.
And that's more new, too. Yeah. I was about to say, even with the British cultures, back then, it was the women didn't have a say. So if that's who was going to further our family's well-being, then that's who you're going to marry. Yeah. So that's why I'm like, I don't know.
I could do it like their culture. Like if I have an option, if it's like, okay, this is who we're expected you to marry, but if you don't want to marry them, you ain't got to marry them. Okay. I'm okay with that. And I mean, like you were saying, it's a business deal. I mean, real marriage is a business deal for real, too. So it's like, at least we already got the preparation to build an empire, So it's like, I'm all here for it. Everything already basically set up. Our families already know each other. I mean,
Y'all, good luck with that. I couldn't do it.
I think I could try it.
Okay, that's wild. But what's even wilder is I'm bringing in our segment this week. Wild or Wild Not?
Wild or Wild Not? Wild or Wild Not? Wild or Wild Not? Wild or Wild Not?
Okay, so Wild or Wild Not, and this is actually something that I tweeted. So it's actually from me. If you ask how much my coffee stop was, and I say $9.34, and you send exactly $9.34, then you clearly hate me. Wild or Wild Not?
Wild Not.
I agree.
Yes,
I said it.
1,000%.
And I know what y'all are gonna say. Women are ungrateful. Or we're ungrateful. No, I'm thankful. I'm grateful that you wanted to pay for my coffee. Where's the 66 cents though?
Yeah, I agree.
Like, cause when we send each other money, let's say you left your card and had to pay for a drink, and it came out to be $18.21. When you Zelle me, what are you sending me? Are you sending me $18.21?
I feel like that depends. That differs. If we splitting something directly and it's a specific number and we splitting it down the middle, I feel like that's totally different than you sending me money for something out of your like heart. You know, like you don't owe this to me. This is not owed. You're not indebted with me. And you're just volunteering to send me, how much was it?
What, $9.34.
So you're just, I feel like that's different, you know?
Or even that situation's different because we're at the club. But let's say even still, even if that's not the situation, if I were to run into the gas station and you said, hey, can you get me a Smart Water? And the Smart Water is $189.
Smart Water.
It comes out to, I don't know, somehow it comes out to $2.70. Are you giving me exactly $2.70? No, you're gonna, or actually I wouldn't even charge you. Fuck.
Yeah, I'm like, I just think it's different because even, for example, if we go out of town and we get in a rental and say the rental was like $278 a piece, we're sending $278. You know what I mean? That's why I'm like, if we're splitting it, like we're typically going to send our portion of what we owe to that person. Yeah. But like if you're sending me something out of the kindness of your heart, you're offering to pay for something, you're offering to pay for my lunch or my dinner, and my dinner is like $19.20.
Send 20.
Why are you not sending 20?
Yeah.
And I'm the same way. Like if somebody's asking for like money or something, like, oh, hey, can you send me $15? I'm going to probably send you like $20 or $30, you know, because it's like, it just doesn't make sense.
You know, Precious?
Yeah.
That little girl will text me, Lexi, can you send me $2? Can you send me $3? Girl, here's $20.
Yeah. Like, what are we?
I said 10.
But same thing, you know, like I remember my little siblings asking me to, you know, like just like that, can you send me $5 or I need $7.50? Bro, here go $15, $20. Like you clearly want to do something with this money, you know? So I mean, I think in that defense and what you tweeted, I agree.
Yeah.
I completely agree.
And I mean, I still want to go back to the point. There have been times where something for one of us costs $10.34 and the person has sent $11.
Yeah.
You know, it's not.
I mean, yeah, it happens.
It does
for sure.
happen. I'm not saying every single time we split in rentals and everybody better round it up to the nearest tenth. No. But there are times, especially if you're just doing something out of the goodness of your heart.
Yeah.
Where you're like, oh, thank you. Here's 12. Thank you for getting me for that $11. Like, you know, so it's just, it feels really stingy. Also, so like I said, everybody has stuff to say about that. The person who first ever did this to me, first of all, I was at Starbucks. I know we're not supposed to be talking about them. I was at Starbucks. I went and I got me a chai tea latte, and I think I got like a bacon, gouda, and egg sandwich. And I posted my little picture, me with Starbucks. And here comes this man, and he goes, how much was your Starbucks order? So I said $9.34. This nigga sent $9.34. And I'm like, am I supposed to be impressed? This same man, this was like maybe a year ago. So I waited to tweet it because I didn't want him to see it and bitches be ungrateful. So I tweeted this recently. Do you know he had the nerve to quote retweet it, talking about some hell nah laughing emojis? Nigga, it was you.
You should have responded and been like, this you?
I didn't say nothing. I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. And then gonna text me later. Like, I'm not talking to you.
Not text later.
Like,
the follow-up text.
Girl.
Yeah, I think, I'm not gonna say that's a cheap move, but like, I like a non-stingy.
It is cheap, right?
Person.
And
you know?
you offered.
Yeah.
If you don't got the room to offer and give me that 66 cents, you didn't have to offer at all. I'm not holding it against you. I wasn't even thinking about you when I posted this Starbucks. You decided to pop up on my radar trying to impress me. Well, nigga.
Not impressed.
They gonna eat me
Not
up.
impressed, okay? All right, let's get into this next topic. So this is a situation that I witnessed, Lex, and I'm just really curious on where is this stemming from? Like, where is the origin of this situation, right? So I'm on the plane, I'm leaving Jamaica, getting on the plane, and it's this family that's like directly in front of me. It's a mom, a dad, and a sister and a brother. The sister and a brother, they probably are like maybe like 6 and 9, around those ages. Okay. You can tell the daughter is older, the sister is older, right? So they're in line, and all of a sudden I can hear the sister and the brother arguing about sitting next to dad, right? So the sister's like, no, I'm sitting next to dad, like such and such, this is my seat number, you sit next to dad coming. And the little brother's like, no, I don't care what you say, like I want to sit next to dad. And I'm just like, damn, I wonder how it would feel to feel like the mom. You know, the mom just standing there, nobody's arguing to sit next to her, like she's just standing there, like just watching the whole thing go down. So finally the dad is, you could tell he's like really calm, his demeanor is real calm. He's like explaining to the son, like, no, look, this is her seat ticket. Like, you sit next to me coming. Your sister's going to sit next to me going back, right? So the little brother threw a tantrum, a whole temper tantrum. So I'm like, oh, my God, here we go. Here we go. All the way to the plane. You can tell
white.
Of course.
Okay.
All the way to the plane. You can tell the little boy is frustrated. Get to the plane.
How can you tell?
He's like...
He's like, I'm frustrated.
Literally, like he's going like this. Like, I mean, you could hear everything. Like, literally.
Like yeah. You be
So
mad
I'm
at a
like,
nigga. You got to make sure he
let people know like he's mad, and I'm like, oh, this little nigga's mad. Get on the plane. I look at my seat. I'm like, oh, great. I'm sitting next to the son and the mom. Okay, here we go. You know, like, let's just see. So the dad and the sister are sitting like directly in front of us. So I'm on the aisle seat. The mom is in the middle and the son is by the window. So I'm like, okay, before we even board, all I hear is, Mom, can I use your headphones? And the mom's like, no, like, these are my headphones, but you can use my other headphones. And he's like, well, no, I want the ones on your face. And she's like, no, like, these are my headphones. You can't use them. And he's like, well, you let sister use them. And she was like, well, sister was being nice to me. You don't be nice to me. And I'm like, like, there's some type of disconnect here, right? Yeah. I'm like, okay, cool. That was the second thing. Something else happened, but I can't really remember. So the mom and the dad and the brother were kind of like bickering, like back and forth. And I'm like, first of all, I ain't about to be bickering with nobody child, but you know how their culture is. So they're going back and forth. We finally land and the dad is on the phone. And the brother is like, Dad. And the mom is like, calm down, like he's on the phone. The dad is so calm. He's like, 1 second. He gets off the call. He's like, yeah, buddy, what's up? And I'm like, yeah, you could tell like the parenting styles completely different, or just like the demeanors of the parents, like totally different, you know? And he's like, yeah, buddy, like, what's up? And the brother's like, why are we still sitting on the plane? And he's like, well, you know, people have to get their luggage and blah, blah, blah. And he's like, okay. And the mom is like, why would you speak to him? And he's on the phone. Like, why are you going back and forth arguing? I told you to sit down. And the brother was like, you're not going to tell me what to do. I mean, being disrespectful, Lex, like the little boy. But the sister, like, was very calm. So I'm like, is there something going on at home? Like, is this something like maybe the mom is like, is it something she's doing with like her parenting style? You know, like, is it something like a I'm like, where could the disconnect be? You know, early?
I think that I feel like it's a tale as old as time. It sounds like the mom is the main disciplinarian. Like, she's the one that's constantly there. Like, I'm sure when it gets to a certain point, then you tag in dad and then dad puts them in their place. So, But I feel like it's like one of those things, I see it all the time, where like if the moms are the ones that are constantly around, constantly there, the kids kind of like take advantage, or it's not so. And then seeing dad is like a treat, or having dad's attention just seems more special than having mom's attention.
It's like fun with dad.
Yeah, because mom is seen as the bad cop, you know, and then dad comes in and he gets to be the fun, like, yeah, man. Even in the moment where she's trying to tell him, don't talk to your dad while he's on the phone. She wasn't saying nothing wrong, but it's, you know, the dad's not offering that discipline. It's always the mom, almost like how men don't like when women nag.
Yeah.
It's like, it seems like it's starting in the kid early, and the daughter understands, like it's more, you know, but it sounds like he's just bad as hell, and she be the main one putting him in his place. So he has more resentments towards her. And then dad gets to come. I know she'd be annoyed with that man, especially when them kids be bad as hell, and then he come around and now they all sweet. And she's like, you won't see how your son just talked to me, but he's fine now. Like, that'd be scaring me. That's one thing that scares me about parenting.
That scared me about parenting, and it kind of made me nervous because I'm like, bruh, he just seemed like the type of kid that's gonna grow up and be just like a fucking asshole. Yeah. You know, like a jerk.
He's well on his
asshole.
way.
And it's like, where, like, does it go from disconnect to connect? You know, like,
it's gonna have to. I feel like the dad, it's really on the dad. I feel like he needs to step in and be like, you need to stop. Like, get real serious with him sometimes, so the kid doesn't grow up to be an asshole and not. It seems like he doesn't respect his mom.
Yeah, it seems like it's not respect at all. You know, and then that's just like my thing. Like, I feel like you can't tell me therapy is not going to have to be involved. From the age he is now to becoming a fucking preteen or a teenager. Bruh, that little nigga is gonna be the one you need to like look after and worry about. But it was weird because the mom and the daughter, they didn't really communicate. I noticed that. So I was like, I wonder if they have a relationship at all, you know, or if they both resent the mom.
The problem child. So even if she does resent the mom, the mom probably does most of the attention towards the little boy, even if it's bad attention. And the daughter probably doesn't get I don't know. But I don't think the mom's just like being mean to the boys, the boys being bad and stuff. Or it doesn't make me think something. I do think something's wrong with her parenting, but the dad, it's not gonna help if the dad don't step in, because that little boy clearly resents his mama.
I feel like that's why you be needing men in the household.
Yeah,
because
the only person that's gonna put that boy in his place is his daddy. And if the dad don't think that it's that big of a deal or it's not that bad, we can handle him. He's just a kid. That kid gonna grow up
and be a jerk.
Yeah. Dang.
Yeah, I was just sitting there observing. My psychology glasses came on. I was just like, yeah, they in some trouble.
My prayers go out to her. I'm so sorry, ma'am.
They were like young parents too, you could tell.
Oh, gosh. Yeah. Okay, so my next topic that I want to talk about is one of those love languages that I feel like everybody always says that they have nowadays, outside of physical touch, because niggas love to be like, my love language is getting my dick sucked. Like, no, you mean physical touch? And no. Acts of service. Everybody loves acts of service. I think you've said that's one of yours too.
That's my number one.
And I feel like when you say acts of service, what are you thinking of?
If just say the trash need to be taken out and you're there and you take the trash out. Acts of service. Small things. Or if you see my car needs to be washed or cleaned out, and maybe you have my car, you went to go take it to get some gas or something, a little nice vacuum.
Definitely.
Acts of service. Small things.
I get what you're saying with the trash, because I was about to say that doesn't seem like act of service. But if he don't live there, that's definitely an act of service.
Yeah.
Like, okay,
if you're there,
you come over and you just notice. And
you're taking off the load.
Yeah. Okay. Like you didn't have to do that.
Exactly.
I'm thinking y'all live together, and it's like, okay, is it an act of service every time I wash a dish?
That's a requirement.
Okay. Yeah. I was finna say. Okay.
The fuck.
Yeah.
I'm not touching trash.
So I was listening to Poor Minds, as a bad bitch in Atlanta does. And they had Slim Thug on there showing his ass. Was
he?
You didn't see none of the clip?
Thug.
Every time that nigga opened his mouth, it just be some bullshit.
Oh man.
It was bad. And so one of the things he was trying to say on there is like, he don't like women that got their shit together. He wants a woman that needs him. He don't need no boss bitch. Men don't care about boss bitches. That's why the black man is the most desired man on earth. And they was like, yeah, the fat white women and blah, 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 and all this stuff. And one of the points that he made was he kept trying to say, like, he kept hitting on them during the show. And he was like, you know, you could be my Beyonce and I'm Jay-Z. And they was like, how could you want to, why are you referencing Beyonce and Jay-Z
if you want a
when you
broke
don't
bitch?
want a woman that, you know, has her own and, you know, isn't at your every beck and call. And he was talking about because his love language is acts of service. He wants a woman that's going to rub his feet. He wants a woman that's going to be bringing him breakfast, lunch, and dinner, all this stuff. And they were saying like, you know, a woman, you don't think Beyonce does acts of service for Jay-Z just because she's like a rich boss bitch or whatever? Women can do acts of service. But the problem was, it seemed to me, was he didn't want acts of service. He wanted a servant. He wanted a woman to wait on him hand and foot. He wanted a woman that needed him there, that she would have to think twice before she told him no because, ooh, do I want to keep getting these benefits or not? And I don't know. Do you think that that's like a fair summation? Or is that just typical for a man to want a woman who waits on them?
I mean, if that's what you like, that's what you like. I mean, women go around here saying, I need somebody to pay for my bills and take care of me. And, you know, I mean, if that's what you want, that's what you want. I can't knock what you want. But I just feel like for me, I wouldn't want a man who doesn't want an ambitious woman or somebody who wants to go after her goals or somebody who wants things for herself. You know, that's not my type of style.
It's not even about the preference is fine. I think it's about conflating your love language being acts of service when it's not really acts of service. You just want a servant. To me, it seems like two different things. And I feel like a lot of guys say acts of service. I think you ask them what that means. And it's, you know, cooks dinner for me every night and stuff like that. And to me, acts of service is like those things that you aren't obligated to do in a relationship, but it's acts of service because you just go out of your way to do it. And so you can't convince me that if an expectation of yours is for a woman to cook for you every night, that doesn't seem like acts of service to me.
I mean, cooking could be an act of service. Like, again, if you see I had a long day and, you know, we got to eat, you know, and I don't feel like coming home cooking or it's too late and you cook, that's definitely an act of service.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it can be a form of act of service. I just think it depends on like the situation. It's, you know, case by case scenario.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like if it's an expectation or it's a necessity, to me, it doesn't.
It's not.
The acts of service, the point that makes an acts of service special, at least in my opinion, is that you're doing this out of the kindness of your heart. You're doing this to lighten my load. You're not doing this because, you know, it's a necessity to keep me around because you like that I pay all your bills. Like, I don't know. I feel like you could order a chef if you want that. You're not looking for a woman's character or value. You're just looking at the services that she could provide you. And that's how you're gonna, I don't know.
Yeah.
Also, oh no, you go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, I mean, find your match. You know, I'm sure it's some women out here who literally want that. All they want to do is be at home, cook and clean for their man, and he pays the bills.
And you know, that is what they were telling him. You know? That is what they were telling him. But he kept trying to hit on them. He was like, why wouldn't y'all give me some pussy? I do this, this, and that. And they're like, we not the type of girl that you want. Like, we not going for that. And he's like, you know, I'm part of the 0%. Like, anybody should want to fuck me, like blah blah blah. I don't got no kids, I don't got this, I don't got that. I'm just like, sir. But I did think something interesting that I took note of listening to that episode. I find it funny that the type of women that men resent or kind of talk shit about when it comes to being ambitious or women being like uppity or not easy to, like, you know, get into their pants, those are the exact same type of qualities that they would want their daughters to have, or even their mothers. They want to think of their mothers as being untouchable and not dependent on a man and strong. They want their children to be strong. They're going to raise their daughters not to depend on a man, not to this. You don't need a man to do that. Don't take this disrespect. And I just find that so interesting because, like, I find that sometimes some men tend to get irritated or be like, y'all gonna end up single because y'all don't want to settle. And I'm just like, that's crazy because you wouldn't want your daughters to go for this. Right. So that's very interesting to me. Like,
yeah. Yeah, I feel like I just have two different opinions on, not even two different opinions, but, you know, like I said, if that's the agreement, you can find somebody who wants that agreement with you, you know? But I feel like also I kind of grew up on both ends. Like, even me living at home, like, it's to the point now where my parents are like, just, you know, you could wait to find a husband and y'all buy your own house, you know? So it's like, both sides, like not necessarily having a man to take care of you, but at this age, it's like you might as well just build something with somebody, you know? Mm-hmm. And then on the other hand, you got people saying like, oh no, like, you can do everything by yourself. You don't have to have a man to do this. Mm-hmm. And if you want to buy a house, you could just buy a house by yourself. And sometimes it could be confusing, you know? But I don't know. I feel like just if you feel like it's settling to you, it's settling to you, you know? But I just feel like go after somebody who y'all can have your own agreement and find you a housewife. But it ain't going to be us.
Yeah. And I think that you're just doing yourself a disservice, because if you're one of the best things I think that I've done when it comes to dating or helping me to stop like fantasizing about someone's potential is sometimes I feel like people date to fill a role and they look at how this person can fill what they see what a boyfriend should do, like what I think a boyfriend should be doing or what you think a girlfriend should be doing, and they're not even actually like looking at the person. So I'm like, I hate to think of like I'm looking for a boyfriend, because I feel like that's like me looking to fill a role. I'm looking to find somebody that as a person that I
a nice
person,
like.
And then we'll determine the roles from there. Like we can like customize what a boyfriend and girlfriend are gonna look once I find you. But I feel like if you're just like, yeah, I need this person to cook, this person needs to have this person needs to have that, you're listing what you want that role to look like, but you're not actually listing things about a person. I want someone who's kind, somebody who's humble, somebody who's this, and I just feel like that gets lost in the shuffle now. I need a man with his own like, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we had this conversation on Friday, like with the checklist, and I'm like, I need both. You know, like I need you to check off some things off my checklist, and I need you to be a good person. You know, like this is just me thinking as a grown woman. What if I'm dating somebody who I get pregnant by? On that checklist, it comes with you got your own money to support and take care of your own child. And if you don't,
that is on my checklist.
You know what I mean? Like if you don't, I have to cross that off, and I can't fuck with you, because if you can't take care of your own kid, it don't matter how good of a person you are. Like it's just not going to work. I need somebody who can, at least if God forbid something happens, you have your own house or your own space and you can raise your own child, and I could do the same, you know? So I think there are checklists that I have to still honor.
And I feel like, the checklist, when it comes to foundation and those fundamentals, yes. But am I going to knock somebody off of, is somebody going to be just taken out of the running to be my partner if they're not a handyman? Like stuff like that. Like, and some men like, and maybe look, I'm sensitive to this because I'm not a chef. Okay. Some men are like, you can't be my wife if you can't cook. What if you meet the girl of your dreams and it just so happens she can't cook? But you're eliminating off of that, like, so off of a skill, you know? And I'm like, yes, definitely have your shit together. Even I'm sure there's basic things that a man would want from me. Like, you know, but if it comes to just knocking somebody off the list because they can't change a tire, as if AAA doesn't exist. Like, yes, it would be great if you could change a tire. And at one point in time, that was like a symbol of being a man. But we're in 2025. Like, you know, it's even with cooking. That was a symbol of being a woman. It's 2025. I mean, we can Uber Eats it. We can do HelloFresh and get the instructions ourselves. We can meal plan. Like, it's just, I don't know. So
yeah, I mean, I definitely agree with that. There are some things, like you said, you would like hope or want.
It would be nice.
Like, you know, if you know how to grill, you know, I ain't gonna not fuck with you because of that. But if you can, like, yes, you know,
except swimming. Like, I've realized I can't talk to a nigga that can't swim.
Oh, that can't swim.
I can't talk to him if he can't swim.
Okay, I understand that.
Yeah, I realized
because y'all's child or
that too. Yeah.
Okay, but y'all don't have a child yet. So what if he learns, like, when you get pregnant? I literally have seen some parents learn.
I'm gonna get the ick
because he can't swim.
Because he's learning. I just imagining him trying to kick his little feet, and he's like 30, 35, 6. Like, nigga, come on.
Okay, man. I guess
they like blow bubbles and kick your feet. Like, I don't know. I'm gonna get the.
But that's not the adult class. Is not like that.
Oh, like they holding on to the little surfboard. Yeah. Come on, kick across, and I'm like, I don't know. I don't think. But whatever.
Okay, so you got to be a swimmer.
Yeah. And like scary movies. I got a couple on the checklist. I'm my bad.
It don't gotta be a checklist. Now let me come out with my checklist. Oh, Tay, you shallow. I can't believe you would say that.
I don't say shallow, strict, maybe. I'd be like, Tay, you strict.
Okay, because I could come up with one now.
I got a couple.
Okay. All right, let's get into our final topic. We got time? Okay, yeah, we got time. Look at us. Okay. Boundaries with co-parenting. We always have a lot of talks with co-parenting, and we are not mothers, but however, we have experience of dealing with people who are co-parenting.
I got a couple sons.
So I'm sure everyone has seen the DDG and Hallie situation. If you haven't, basically they're kind of just been going back and forth, kind of like over this little custody battle thing. It's now to the point where he's came out and said like he can't see her or see the child within like over 24 hours, typically after like, or I'm not 24, 48 hours. So typically after like 48 hours, he has to like return the child to his mother. So there's been like debates about like, well, I mean, you know, that's good enough. You know, if you want to see your kid, 2 days should be good. Like what you trying to do for, you know, after 2 days? And his point is like, well, you know, we both can be the priority parent. And I think people were in the comments were like, well, Hallie is the main parent. And he's like, well, we could both be the main parents, you know? So what are like, do you think there should be boundaries or when somebody's co-parenting or you dealing with somebody co-parenting? Another thing was somebody mentioned in the comments, they were like, he's just upset that he can't just come over whenever and pick up the child. And my stance on that, so I think that's where like the boundaries are now kind of being crossed to some people. I feel like if you just coming to pick up your kid, it don't matter when, what day, what time, you know, for me. So I feel like when it comes to boundaries, I really don't think if y'all are adults, I don't think there really should be boundaries. Like, you know, are you coming up in my house 3:00 in the morning? Like, what's the boundary? But if my kid is 7 months old, he ain't in school, you know, why can't I just come and pick up my son? Like, what's the issue? So I feel like when it comes to healthy parenting, or if there's a really healthy co-parenting situation, I don't believe in boundaries for real. And maybe it might be because how I grew up as well, you know? So I think it really does depend on your upbringing. But I don't know. What are your thoughts?
Okay, that was a lot. I'm trying to think, 'cause I didn't really think about this situation. For one, I think it's so interesting. Y'all did all of this to hide this baby from us. And now y'all cannot keep us out of the group chat. I'm just like, what the fuck is going on now? Because didn't this already happen? Wasn't he accusing her of keeping the kid away back when she was doing Little Mermaid? And
yeah, but I don't think it was. I think it was the people. I don't think it was more so him.
So I remember
coming out.
I remember some tweets. Where he was talking about not being able to see his son back in the day. That's why I'm like,
I think it was when she. Again? Yeah, I think it was when she was taking the baby on like press tour and like press conferences and stuff like that.
Well, first off, I definitely think boundaries are necessary, especially maybe after a certain point and y'all are cordial, okay, but it seems, I brought up this happening before because it doesn't seem like it's a healthy co-parenting situation. So I know you said if it's a healthy co-parenting situation, there should be no boundaries. I don't think that this is. I think that there have been multiple times where we have seen him lash out at her, even when it came to like the press tour and her co-host. I think he like, something happened and he came out with a song or some people were talking about this on Twitter. And also I'm sure she does stuff that we don't see either, you know, so on both ends. So I think that they both need boundaries because I think vice versa, he wouldn't want her just pulling up to his place any time of the day to pick up the child just because she want to pick up the child. I think it's important for them to have those boundaries. At least some kind of, and even in like court systems, I know people who, like I have a homeboy. I know that judges will say at least give somebody 24 hours notice if you want to come get the kid. I think that that's fair. I don't think that you should feel like, even if we didn't have a kid together, if you was my ex, like anybody, I don't think that you should just be able to come up to you're going to want a boundary. You don't want anybody to feel like they can just come to your house. As far as them both being the priority parent, primary. I didn't think is that possible if y'all aren't together? There's always going to be one primary.
I think when you're not in school, I feel like primary more comes because of school and that you have to have an address to go to school and you have to go to the same school. So I feel like as a child, I mean, I think there are certain instances where 1 week the dad will have them and 1 week the mama have them.
Okay, 1 week on, 1
yeah,
week off.
so
I guess
you
I was
both are
wondering what that
primary
looks
parents.
like.
Yeah, or 2 weeks at a time. You know, especially when you're not in school, or even sometimes when you are in school, y'all both might live close to the school. There are times where it's literally like the child is back and forth. So that's another thing. Some people were saying, like, is that healthy for the child to have 2 homes? You know, what does that look like for the child? Does that look like a good foundation or stability? You know?
Yeah, to me, it doesn't seem like stability, but I mean, a lot of kids have to go through it, so I get it. Also, I just feel like, and I would say this like with my dad, is even when my dad reached out to me when I was an adult and wanted to be like, your mom this, your mom that, in my head, I'm like, why didn't you go to court?
Yeah.
Why didn't you could have did something, like you ain't never paid child, like, so if you really, to me, that's why I'm like, DDG, like, okay, he seems like a good dad, seems like a good guy, however they didn't work out romantically, he doesn't seem like a great partner, but that's not my business. Go to court, get on papers. Like, I don't see what the problem is with that. I think more dads should do that. I feel like we've talked about this on the show. If you're that, she's keeping my kid away from me, she's this, she's that, go to court and ask if you can also be a primary parent. But I think that a lot of guys, they want a little bit more control in the situation, but they don't want all of that responsibility. Like, DDG has a crazy schedule. I don't see him.
And he's willing to still be a dad. You know, like, I feel like I'm both fans, like, equally. You know, like, he's a streamer, so I watch his streams all the time. And you can see in the streams, like, his son is there. You know, his son, he has his son. And
I feel like wasn't that an issue at one point? Because he had brought the son to, like, Kai's house, and they had just had a rape. And it'd be crazy shit going on at Kai's house. Yeah. So it's like, if you bring it, like, I feel like a little bit more discernment.
And that bothers me when people say that, because that's his job, you know? And if you really watch Kai stream, like, he don't got niggas on there drinking. He don't drink. You know, niggas is not just on there smoking. Like, the people who he has there, those are a part of the entertainment, you know? So it's like, I was just watching one of Ashanti's interviews, and she's taking her baby on tour. What's the difference? You know, like, you still have all of these people that you don't know everybody on tour, you know, background, people handling lights and all of this other stuff. I feel like it's literally the same. Even Halle taking him on press tour when she was doing The Little Mermaid and all of this other stuff. You don't know everybody on set or everybody on scene. So I feel like people kind of like downgrade what he does, which I get. You know, you might not think it's a real job.
Because they said something. Was it an actual police raid, or were those actors?
No, that was on another stream. That wasn't on his stream. Yeah,
I thought they said it. Okay,
that wasn't his stream. So that situation does kind of like bother me, because it's like, this is his job. You know, like, this is what he does for entertainment. Like, let's be real, this is how he makes his money, you know? So it's like, you kind of knew that before y'all had a baby. So it's like, you can't tell him not to make money no more. You know, like, this is what he does. So that part, I feel like if he wants to put his baby on stream, he can put his baby on stream. Like, that's your son. You know, you have a right to do that. This is your career. This is what you do. Like, so that part kind of like bothers me a little bit. But as far as the boundaries, yes, I get some type of like boundary, but also in his defense, knowing what his family's background, his dad is close with him and his mom and her new husband, you know? So his dad just comes around and spends times with him and his siblings. Or even DDG's brother, his mom, his brother and his baby mom, they just go back and forth with the kid, you know?
Does that mean that Halle has to be okay with that?
No, it doesn't, but that's what he's used to, you know? So it's like, when you see healthy co-parenting in your mind, you think that my situation can be a healthy co-parenting of what I'm used to, you know? Yeah. So now co-parenting looks different in his eyes. So I feel like now he's lashing out, because it's like, well, this is not what I had planned as far as me raising my kid, you know? So I feel like in his defense, it's kind of a like, well, damn, I'm seeing these healthy situations where these motherfuckers can just go pick up their kid. Why I can't do that, you know? So I think that's where his frustration is. And I feel like he's mentioned court, but he don't want to take it there yet, you know, in his defense. And it's just like, I feel like with court, it sucks, because now things are like structured. Now you are only going to be able to have your kid for like this amount of days. Whereas if you don't go to court, you really can't have your kid for whatever is discussed between you and the baby mom, you know?
Yeah. So I mean, like he only has so many options. It seems like he don't like what Halle's coming up with.
Yeah.
And he don't want to go. So it's like, which would you rather deal with, I guess?
Yeah, you're going to have to go to court eventually. But it's just, I agree, court does suck. Like, I hate that it always has to get to court, because, bro, we could just figure this shit out ourselves.
I feel like court protects both parties though, because let's say they come up with something and later down the road she changes her mind. I feel like he would appreciate having that little extra bit, like, you know, helping him in his case. Because you see it all the time. People change their minds, or women tell you they'll never take you to court, and next thing you know, they do. So I don't know. I know that I personally probably would want boundaries. Nothing crazy, but like at least don't think that you just gon' because you feel like stopping at my house today to get the baby, you gonna come get the baby. Like it's not working like that for me. But I don't know. And they seem so hot and cold. I feel like I had just seen them together, recording together. So I'm just like, I don't fucking know.
Yeah, I mean, I can't really speak about the relationship because we really don't know. But I feel like this is just a lesson, y'all. Just watch who you have kids with. Like, I know it's cliche and it's like, oh, we're in love. Like, this has got to be the person I'm going to marry. But just wait until it's the person that you marry, because shit like this happens.
Even then, it ain't guaranteed.
It ain't guaranteed, but at least it's a little more like you kind of got to work it out. You know, you got to work something out at least to a certain extent, whether than if you're not married, it's just like the first fuck up shit, let's just break up, you know? So I feel like marriage does at least hold both parties accountable, and it kind of forces y'all to work something out.
I don't know. I'm turned off from marriage and kids after this episode. I'm like, that shit sound...
I'm always turned off from kids.
I'm like, that shit don't sound fun. Like,
I'm always turned off of kids.
Okay, girl. Well, let's turn the TV on.
Yes, and our MySpace songs on.
Yeah, so what you been watching?
I'm still watching The Crown. I think it's 6 seasons. I'm on season 4.
Okay.
And the episodes are long. They're like an hour long. And you really have to watch it. So this not nothing where I can just have on in the background and I'm like, oh, okay, I'll just go to the next episode. So that's why it's kind of taking me a little longer to watch it, because I'm actually like thoroughly watching the episodes. So I just started season 4. And I'm on like episode 2. And I also just started watching the new Teen Mom.
Oh, really?
It's a new one.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, not new, the same characters, but a new like structure.
I've been seeing all the clips.
The clips made me go watch it. So yeah. What about you?
I watched this really good movie on Hulu. It's called Humane. It's newer. The main guy, I can't remember his name, but if y'all see him, y'all be like, oh, we know him. But it's kind of like, I love like these dystopian movies where it's like the fall of society. So it's like probably decades in the future from now, and the world is so fucked. There's not enough resources. Yeah, there's not enough resources. It's not enough food. Certain foods you can't even get anymore. And so they have this thing where it's just like voluntary euthanasia, where you can volunteer to kill yourself. They're trying to get people to volunteer so that, you know, that takes
the population,
gets the basically population control, and your family can get money if you do it or whatever. And so the super rich guy who kind of helped like come up with the idea, he decides that him and his wife are going to do it, but he calls all of his kids to the house one last time to let them know. And then somebody backs out. And he's like, oh, well, my wife doesn't want to do it anymore, so maybe we can just reschedule this when I talk to her and calm her down, because she like left the house and they can't find her. And the guy's like, oh, no, actually, can't do that. Once you sign in and sign the papers and say you're going to do that, we got to leave here with 2 bodies.
Damn.
And so the dad's like, but the guy was like, you can cancel it if you sign this, but that means they have this list called the cowards list. And anybody that promised they were going to do it, especially like the elite, because this guy is like the top 1% of the population. And so he was like, okay, well, I'll do it, but they still need a second body. So he knew that meant that somebody in the house was going to have to be the second body. But he did. So he's like, I'm going to split my fortune amongst you, and y'all figure it out. So now the siblings are looking at each other like, who the fuck is it going to be? And the guy is like, y'all just figure it out amongst yourself. Tell us when you're ready. Girl, it was crazy. It was a good show. So it was dope. I liked it. And then I watched the Love is Blind reunion last night. And
is this UK? What is this?
It's the US again. Yeah.
How many fucking seasons are there?
This is 6 maybe?
Of this year though. I feel like it's been like 2 of this year.
I don't know. The last one was AD in them. That wasn't this year.
Oh, it was?
Mm-hmm. And AD actually announced that she's engaged.
I saw to the other guy from UK. Mm-hmm. That's what made me ask if it was the UK one. Okay.
Yeah. And then Real Housewives of Atlanta is back. So I watched the new episode last night. Portia's back. Didn't know Shamia was so fucking rich. She's the richest of all of them. She used to just be a friend of the show. Nobody gave a fuck about Shamia.
Was she married somebody?
But she's always been married to him. But they have a huge house. She has 2 elevators in there. Her birthday party, first episode, he gave her a Rolls Royce Cullinan.
Ain't he like a prince or something? Is he African?
No, but he is African. Okay, but he's an HVAC, and he did the HVAC for Hartsfield, for a lot of airports.
Gotcha. Okay,
and that's a lot of money to keep the whole airport cool and all that stuff. So rich as hell. I said, damn. So she really liked the star this season. I said, oh, she done came up.
Okay.
But yeah, that's about it with what I've been watching.
Okay, MySpace songs. What you got?
MySpace songs. There's this song. It's by this guy named, I think, Kyrie Doty. Mm-hmm. It's called Goddamn. Mm-hmm. It's so good. It's like West Coast, like from the bay. He don't sound like that though, but like you know, like I saw Tay would like this. Like it's lit. I saw a little clip on Reels on Instagram. I said that second verse. I said, let me see what this song talking about. Girl, I've been cruising along.
Cruising. That's my song.
I know.
It's called Cruising. Mm-hmm. How you know?
I don't.
By Smokey Robinson. But it's a really good song, Lex. Like it's a well-known song, bro. It's like one of them songs where you just
what
like.
Year does that say? What year does it say? What year does it say? What year does it say? Were we alive?
79.
Bitch.
I was playing it on the way here, and it was a vibe. Like the windows were down. It was just a vibe.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Cool cruising, y'all. Smokey Robinson. All right, y'all. Well, thank you for tuning in to episode 53 of Women's Intuition. We need y'all to go ahead, and this is our call to action. Make sure you like, subscribe, put somebody on, leave us a review, do something, interact with us, follow the page,
repost,
slide in Tay DMs, something.
No, ma'am.
I don't know. She experimenting.
No, I'm not.
So, I don't know. Do you love God? Let her hear what you got to say about it.
Lex.
I'm just saying, fellowship.
Okay. Well, Lex, you about to go on your trip? Are you excited?
I'm so excited.
Okay. Is it next week or the week after?
When this drops, I'll be on the trip.
Okay.
So, yeah. So it's next week. This is my last full week at work. So.
Okay. Well, have fun. Enjoy the water, the sun.
I'm going parasailing.
Ooh. Make sure you bring sunscreen.
Yes. Ocean safe sunscreen.
Yes.
So it doesn't hurt the animals.
Exactly. And face sunscreen.
Yes.
Okay. All right, guys. Well, thank y'all again. Another episode, another week. We really appreciate y'all. And we'll see y'all next week. Bye.